Hi, welcome back to Davin's lecture. In our last video, we have been, or I have been sharing with you about biodiversity and the three levels of biodiversity. All right. So for this lesson today, we will be continuing this topic on biodiversity, and the focus is on the threats to biodiversity. Based on the things that you can see on the picture screen right now, there are lots of threats to biodiversity, including the natural and human activities. To start with, okay, let us discuss the first threat considered to be a first threat in biodiversity rather. By the way, let me present to you. These are the six major threats considered in biodiversity. First is the habitat loss and destruction. Second, alterations in ecosystem composition. Third, introduction of exotic species. Fourth, overexploitation. Fifth, pollution and contamination right here. And last is global climate change. Let's start. Number one, habitat loss and destruction. It is usually as a direct result of human activity and population growth. It is also a major force in the loss of species, populations, and ecosystems. Actually, the one that you can see right there in the picture, this is an example of human activity leading to the loss of habitat and destruction in biodiversity. Another here is an example of population growth in terms of industries and buildings, leading to habitat loss and destruction of biodiversity. Second is the alterations in ecosystem composition, such as the loss or decline of species can lead to a loss of biodiversity. For example, the elimination of coyotes in the canyons of Southern California are linked to decreases in some bird populations. And here, for example, as coyotes' populations were reduced, the populations of their prey, primarily raccoons and others, increased as well. Since raccoons eat birds' eggs, fewer coyotes lead to more raccoons eating more eggs, resulting in fewer songbirds. So that's how it goes in the alterations of the ecosystem, which is the second threat to be considered in biodiversity. Next, the third is non-native species. And this non-native species or the introduction of exotic species can disrupt entire ecosystem and impact populations of native plants or animals. These invaders can adversely affect native species by eating them, infecting them, competing with them, or even mating with them. And these introduction of exotic or non-native species is considered to be a threat to biodiversity. Next, the fourth threat is overexploitation. It is an excessive use of species that have economic value, which is a factor of increasing the current rate of extinction, just like what you can see there in the picture and the list of animals. And overexploitation comes with overhunting, overfishing, and overcollecting of species or population can lead to its demise. Next on the list, the fifth threat to biodiversity is human generated pollution and contamination can affect all levels of biodiversity. Just like you can see there in the picture, this human activity such as making industry, which releases air pollution, actually contribute or can be considered as a threat to biodiversity, which can affect all levels of biodiversity. And the last threat to be considered in biodiversity is global climate change. It can alter environmental conditions, and species and populations may be lost if they are unable to adapt to new conditions or relocate. For example, the one that you can see on the picture is a polar bear or polar bears will be wiped out by the end of century unless more is done to tackle climate change, according to a study. And according to scientists, some say that populations have already reached their survival limits as the Arctic sea ice shrinks. So this is one of the kinds of species that is in danger because of global climate change, and they are actually the polar bears in the polar regions. And that's it for a short lecture for today about the threats or the six threats related to biodiversity. On my next lecture video, I'll be discussing with you about the importance of biodiversity to humankind. If you think this video is helpful, please click like below or the notification bell so that you'll be notified for the next videos that I'll be uploading my channel. Once again, thank you so much and you have a great day. Goodbye for now.